All right. Hey, everyone. My name's Chris. Here, you're listening to the Drome Network Movie Review Podcast. I'm here with
Philip.
And
DJ Eagle, a.k.a. Jacob Eagle.
All right, and today we're going to be doing our very first review podcast of The Expendables 2.
Expendables.
Boom, 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 boom.
Fun, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Come on, Miller. Let's go.
Tear him apart. I'll be back.
You've been back enough. I'll be back.
All right, so guys, why don't we give a short little intro, short little review, and then we'll go into spoilers right away. So start off with Eagle. Eagle, what do you think?
All right, so I definitely thought it was much better than the first one. Better direction of the whole film in general. I like the cast. Jean-Claude Van Damme was an amazing villain. The only criticisms I really heard about it were that, first of all, it's not great acting, which is, well, what do you expect when you go into the Expendables?
Who cares? It's not a freaking opera piece.
Exactly. And also people said, oh, well, I haven't seen any of the other movies that they were in, like, obviously, Terminator, Universal Soldier. So if you don't see any of those movies, maybe you're not going to be on the same level as us. Maybe you're not going to get it as much, but just stick around for the amazing action, cheeseball lines throughout. Great. Just a great film in general.
Yeah, so like, if you're a cousin who hasn't seen these movies and you hate the movie, you should just shut up.
Yeah, maybe you should, like, it's not for you, so, yeah, you know.
I want to go into detail of that more after.
For sure.
Because I just had a thing there, but that would spark a whole other conversation.
Definitely.
But,
I would say out of 10, I'll give it a solid 7.5 to 8, depending on how I'm feeling that day.
Okay.
all right, Phil, what do you think of it?
I loved this movie. I think it beats the first movie leaps and bounds. The first movie, I'd probably give that one like maybe a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like they built all this hype over, oh, we're gonna have all these action stars, and then, oh, we only got like Stallone and like He-Man, Dolph Lundgren. That's it.
Yeah.
Randy Couture was there.
Yeah. Randy Couture. Yeah. Why is he there? Why was Terry Crews there?
Yeah.
So this movie here, at first I was like, oh, okay, we got like Liam Hemsworth in this, and then, you know what? I love this movie. Up to the end, just I can't say enough good things about this. I was really impressed. I saw it twice. That's how impressed I was.
Dedication.
Yeah.
That's when you know you like it.
Oh yeah, I love this thing. What would I give it out of 10? I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I loved it. I don't know. I was in the groove.
No,
Very
that's
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris?
I thought it was. You guys pretty much said all of it. All I can say pretty much is it was way better than the first movie. The first movie focuses way more on story than this one does. So.
And a lot of slurring too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the story, like nothing wrong with story. When it comes to movies, story is number one for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But for that movie, I don't need story. I need to see people kicking ass.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to see like a bunch of people sitting around telling each other their feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
like,
don't care about
just
that.
take your gun and shoot that guy's head off. Just do it.
Exactly. But since I want to get into it more, my pretty short review, I would give it 8 out of 10 as long as you know what you're going in for.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't give that 8 out of 10 and compare it to, like, a super, like, Schindler's List or something
No,
like that.
you can't. You have to put this on the like a different type of like scale.
Different rating system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can't put this up against it like you said, like something like that. Like,
Yeah, like when you're rating movies, like when I say 8 out of 10, I'm talking like, even like, I know you guys, I don't know how you guys feel about, but I love Hobo with the Shotgun.
Right.
And it's, and if you guys like it or not, I think that's another like 8 out of 10 or 8 or 9 out of 10, but on like a whole other scale of like
3 out of 10.
It's like
Really?
It's like
We're gonna have to do a different podcast with Hobo.
For this type of movie, you're not going to see like a better movie than this. You're not going to see a better cheeseball action movie than this. So just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 if you know what you're going in for.
Oh yeah.
But so now for people who haven't seen the movie, we're gonna do spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, Expendables isn't really the type of movie who really cares about spoilers. But hey, if you care that much, then stop listening now and come back. But yeah, we're just gonna start spoiling the movie a little bit here. But that thing you said before, what were you saying before there that I said I want to go back on?
I think it was about...
Oh, not seeing the movies.
Not seeing them yet.
I think the thought that popped in my head when you first said that was, as long as you said that you'll like it better if you know the movies, and I agree with that. But I also agree if you're going to see the movie and you haven't seen those older movies.
What are you doing?
Well, first of all, what are you doing? Go watch those movies.
What are you doing here? Get out of here! What's the matter with you?
Just turn you away the door.
See Terminator 2. What's the matter? Go away. Go away. Just
Yeah,
leave.
exactly. But like, at least if you're going to see a movie like Expendables, you should know somewhat what you're going in for. Like, you should know that, okay, I may not have seen every Schwarzenegger, Willis, or Stallone movie, but I know these guys are 80s cheeseball guys who just like to shoot things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so even going
And
in-
one-liners. And one-liners.
and one-liners. Like, I think you could go into Expendables 2 not seeing anything those guys ever did and still, like, not like it as much as we did, but still like it a lot.
See, I'm going to agree with you on that because my parents went to go see the movie, and my mom, I know she hasn't seen the Terminator movies. I know she hasn't seen a handful of Stallone's movies. She walked out and she liked it. She really did.
Yeah, because it's just a fun flick.
Yeah.
What I like about this one is they just embrace the fact that it's like, all right, yeah, we got a bunch of 80s guys getting together, shooting shit up. Like, it's like, where were they with that thought for the first one?
Like, in my opinion, to me, there is no first Expendables movie. This movie is the first Expendables
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
This is what we should have got whenever the first movie came out. I don't know,
I
2000.
think the difference was that the first one, Stallone went in thinking, all right, I'm going to be in direction of all these awesome guys from the 80s. It's just going to be so awesome. Like, we're going to put a great storyline together. It's going to be like a great old school type of movie. Well, in this one, it's just like, screw it. Let's just go hard. Let's just
Yeah,
go
we're
hard in the
going
paint.
balls out.
Let's go
Well,
balls out.
Yeah, because the thing is that like Stallone had directed Rambo 4,
Yeah.
Awesome.
and I love that. That
My
was
second favorite Rambo.
that was badass. And
great.
so I guess when I was going into the Expendables, I was thinking, okay, it's Stallone again. It's going to be amazing. No, it wasn't.
Right.
I think maybe he was overwhelmed. That's why there's a new director for this new movie.
Oh, yeah, Simon West was the director. I can't remember. He directed Con Air. Have
Oh,
you guys seen
really?
Con Air, yeah.
Oh, that movie's
That's a
good.
great-
Yeah,
that's a
that's
great
probably
movie.
one of the few Nicolas Cage movies I like.
Yeah, his accent in that movie is hilarious.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah, he also directed Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the first Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Oh, the good one, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
The good one.
And The Mechanic.
I
Ooh,
haven't
not big on The Mechanic.
I haven't,
gotta
seen,
say.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I heard it wasn't that good. But
All right, well,
Have you seen
I
the
guess that's
latest
something-
Jason Statham movie? You've seen The Mechanic.
Really?
They're all the same, man.
see, I like Jason Statham.
We're going
Me
off-
too, that's the
We're
problem.
going a little off track.
Sorry.
It's Expendables.
But
Okay.
technically we're still talking about Jason Statham.
True, true.
The one thing I didn't like about Expendables 2, and the same thing kind of happens in 1, but it's done better in 2, like it's made up for it, was Jet Li kicked ass in the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
He has one fight in Expendables 2 near the beginning, and then he pieces. He literally says,
Yeah.
I might catch up with you guys later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we don't... I thought he was going to come back at the end. No, he's out.
Yeah, see, that was
Alright.
actually one of the things I didn't like. Is that's actually one of the few things I didn't like about this movie. Like, I'm not very technical on the way movies are filmed,
Oh, yeah.
but just as a viewer, the minute he left, I was like, "Oh, that's terrible. Why is he not here?"
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the major thing I was disappointed with in this
Yeah.
movie,
Mm-hmm.
because that pots and pans fight,
That was awesome.
it was awesome. That
was
was
pretty
so
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
And he was my favorite part of the first one, too.
I love the use of
Yeah.
Chuck Norris, though. Chuck Norris.
Oh, man.
Chuck Norris
Chuck Norris
is
was...
a joke.
The
He's
music, the music that comes in when he walks in.
yeah.
It's
Chuck
just
Norris's
classic.
intro was great. His outro wasn't bad. I wasn't big on the Chuck Norris joke they picked to make fun of Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah, true.
But okay, you were just saying there about the music he plays when he walks in.
Right.
That kind of bothered me because I was like,
Really?
that's the kind of song that you would play when Clint Eastwood walks in.
Yeah.
Not Chuck. Why not the what show was he on? The Lone Wolf
Walker,
Ranger?
Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger. That's it. Yeah.
Does anyone recognize that song, though, if it's played?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I would
care.
hope-
I knew that was from Clint Eastwood's song, so
I
was
would
like,
hope most people seeing the Expendables and seeing all those old guys would know that song's from an older
Oh,
movie.
I guarantee
for sure.
that was a producer thing, a producer call.
maybe, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
mind
sure.
that though. Like I
Well,
thought his intro was the best
See,
part.
I laughed so hard when that happened.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Because I think it was supposed to be badass, but it was funny.
Yeah. Well, I think
Oh,
it was supposed to be
hilarious,
funny
yeah.
as well, though. Kind
Like
of.
his whole character was funny. Chuck, it's funny because he didn't do any actual martial arts or anything.
No, he
Yeah.
just
And-
walks around and,
and
just
with-
holds a gun in one
Like,
hand.
did he have Botox too? Like his face is really chunky.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I just assumed that
I think
came with
maybe
the
he's
old
just
age.
got
or
old,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Stallone's just looking pretty good. So I mean, I don't know.
Stallone looks like he's shooting HGH right into his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
like-
face is pumped up.
That-
Yeah.
His new trailer for his new movie Bullet to the Head. I think like he looks ripped,
Right.
but at the same time, his body looks fucked, like
Oh.
not in a good way.
Yeah, because he fights that like Conan guy in the movie. Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
like
really-
so he doesn't take his shirt off in Expendables. I mean, no one does. They're all old men.
Yeah.
but like,
Oh, put your shirt back on.
yeah, but like, thank God, who cares about that? But just like,
Yeah.
like in terms of being the most jacked out of the oldest guys, Stallone beats anyone in that cast by far.
I don't know. I would give points to Van Damme. He's kept
True.
in shape.
Yeah,
True.
Van Damme is in great shape. That
And-
fight.
Is
Like-
he as old as those guys?
Yeah, Van Damme's in his Stallone's in his 60s.
Stallone and Schwarzenegger in their 60s. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Willis is in his
Schwarzenegger's pretty
60s.
jacked.
I think Van Damme may be in his 50s.
Oh, okay. So he's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Because like I was when I saw Van Damme, I want to get into Van Damme maybe a little later, but when I saw Van
Yeah, I
Damme,
want to talk about Van Damme.
I saw him on screen. I was like, holy cow, he looks great for his age. Like he could easily pass for somebody in their 30s or something like that. But when he takes off his glasses, his Johnny Cage glasses from Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
wow, his eyes look terrible.
Okay, yeah, I was
Holy
literally
the-
about to say
Yeah,
that.
His
It looked
the
like,
drugs look like they took effect on
man,
him.
it looks like the worst makeup job on his eyes
Yeah.
ever.
Definitely.
It's pretty bad. And I was just like, oh, put your glasses back on. But like he,
Exactly. I didn't think he looked badass when he had those glasses off. His
He's
eyes
still-
literally distracted me every
Yeah.
time.
Still throw some badass kicks though.
Oh,
Okay.
no, nothing wrong with
oh
his
my,
action.
when that happened, because they kind of spoil it in the trailer when you see him do the kick.
Yeah.
But when I saw it in the movie, they build up, like the music builds up to
Yeah.
it,
It's
and
like,
when
oh,
he
it
does
is.
it, I had a little mess in my pants. I was loving it. I was like, this is blood sport all over
Yeah.
again. I was getting chills, and he does it
Yeah.
twice.
And he's like, get up.
Yeah, he's like, you talking
Coming
to
right
me?
up.
You talking to me? And I was just like, this guy's awesome. I was so glad to see him in this movie. He may be one of my favorite things about the movie too.
Oh, 100% he's one of
He
my favorite
definitely-
things.
he
about the
just
movie.
he was like you could like there's. Okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here.
Go for it.
Okay, thank you. Here's the thing: is that he plays one of the two best types of villains. There's two good villains. There's the ones that are just so much fun to watch. Heath Ledger's Joker could be put in this.
Yeah.
And then there's the villain that we just hate these guys so much and we want them to die. That could be like Rambo.
Right.
Okay, you just hate those guys. You want just them to get ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
The first Expendables movie, who the heck were the bad guys? Like I didn't care.
There
about
was
Roberts.
like some random Spanish. Oh,
Yeah,
Eric
Roberts.
Roberts.
Oh
right.
yeah, the guy from that's right. Him.
I honestly don't remember.
Stone
really.
Cold.
Yeah.
And, like who cares really? They were forgettable.
Yeah,
His
super
death
forgettable.
was expectable. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, forgettable.
Like who cares about those
Yeah.
guys? Van Damme. He's fun to watch. It's like, oh wow, he's on screen now. Like you want to
Oh, yeah.
see more of this guy.
Yeah, like he was like is it his intro where he kicks the knife into the kid's
Oh yeah.
chest?
That's in his intro scene. Yeah.
It's in his intro. It's at the end of his intro scene.
That's one of
Oh,
the
okay.
coolest
Yeah.
kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that
ever-
was one of my favorite parts of the movie too.
Yeah, he-
action wise.
I'm pretty sure he improvised a lot of his lines.
Yeah.
Because he looks like at a few times where he was just kind of like messing around, like
Well,
tapping the knife on his
yeah.
neck and like.
I did hear a rumor that during the filming of it, he was like drunk every night, like
Really?
going out partying. So the next day,
Probably happy he's back on the red carpet. But
yeah, he was back. He was like, so when they were shooting, he would have to do like a little signal to Stallone once in a while because he forgot his lines. So,
Wow.
he probably has like 4 lines in the whole movie, but
really?
yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't have too much to say. I thought one of my favorite parts of Expendables, by far, on par with Van Damme, was Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Loved him in that movie.
he was awesome in that movie.
I felt he was really rusty in the movie.
You thought so?
Really?
I don't know. I just felt like some of his lines were like,
I can see that towards the end, yeah. But
Yeah.
his intro scene, I loved his intro scene. Like when it's unveiled that he's the
Oh,
guy
yeah,
in
yeah.
the chair,
When he wants
and
the
then
gun,
he
yeah.
gets up, he has a line or two or something like that. I thought that was.
I need the weapon. Yours.
Oh yeah! Every time Schwarzenegger's
like
in that
the-
movie too, it's just an exchange of old movie lines.
That's all it is.
like
yeah.
he was pretty much getting royalties for
Yeah.
reacting stuff. Like
I'll be back. I'll be back. You've been back enough already.
yeah, he says
That's
I'll
my
be
Bruce
back
Willis.
like what 2 or
That-
3 times.
that little
in
like
that movie?
5-second segment of them just saying one-liners from each other's own movies.
Yeah, yeah.
that was so amazing.
Oh no, it was unreal.
Yeah, exactly.
But like now that I think about it, Schwarzenegger I don't think had any original line in Expendables 2 that I could think of. They were all just copies.
that thing should be in a museum or whatever. And he's like, so should we?
Yeah.
It was like his only line.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
3 words.
That could work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. See, for me, this movie. The reason why I gave it like a 9 out of 10 is that this movie did so much for me. Not only
terms?
in terms of like, first of all,
Entertainment.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Entertainment. It outdoes the first one as leaps and miles. I don't like the first movie. But mainly because number one, when I first saw the preview for this movie, I saw Liam Hemsworth was going to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have anything against this guy,
No.
but when I saw his name there in the credits, among Schwarzenegger, Willis,
Yeah, it's very
I was
odd,
like,
random.
what the heck is this? This guy's been in what, one movie?
One movie, yeah.
Hunger Games for like, what, 10 minutes total?
Is that I haven't seen Hunger
Yeah,
Games.
Yeah.
he's only in the beginning.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Wow.
why does he deserve this? And my boy, Scott Adkins, who I know people who listen to this don't know who the hell Scott Adkins is, but
He's the guy that gets his head chopped off by the helicopter.
yeah, by Jason Statham, like pushes him into the he's like the kind of the henchman.
The henchman.
He's done so many direct-to-video movies. I love the guy, and I was so pissed when his name wasn't in the credits.
Right.
Or sorry, not in the credits, in the like the posters or advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raging at why Hemsworth was in this, but when Hemsworth takes that knife to the chest,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. And like I think some people, I don't know if there was like kids in the audience going, "Oh no!" I was like, "Yeah!"
It was an R-rated movie.
Hey,
I was not expecting that to die.
but true, there's
yeah.
always kids like us who are in that.
well,
movie.
some lady brought like a 5-year-old son to go watch Kick-Ass.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
are you
even worse. I'd
yeah.
rather take my kids to
Like,
Expendables too.
the first joke in the movie is like a masturbation joke. I'm like, lady, leave. Like, what are you
Kids gonna
doing?
walk out of the theater just yelling cunt all day.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, back to the Expendables.
Yeah.
Right off the back, right when that happened, I was on board. I was like, I'm
As soon as
loving
he
it.
kicked him.
As soon as he kicked him, I was just like, yeah, okay, you got me.
I honestly thought he was going to be in the movie way longer just
Yeah.
because
I was
he got
happy
that
where we
name
got.
in the trailer. And there's a couple people who don't get a name in the trailer. I can't think of who right off
that
the top
that
of my
Asian
head.
chick.
I know.
Yeah, like she doesn't get a name in the trailer or anything.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah. Scott doesn't get
it was,
a name,
he
yeah.
was. I thought he was good though. Like Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, his acting is good. It's actually really good.
I thought
actually
he
enjoy-
did-
I think he's the best actor in the movie.
You think he's the best actor?
I
in
would
the
say
movie?
he's the best actor
I would
in
say
the
so.
movie.
Yeah, he has the best like acting chops.
Because like he doesn't feel like he's spouting off like 80s cliche lines.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Bruce
like-
Willis is pretty good in it too, as
well,
far as
Bruce,
acting.
Bruce Willis is great. Same thing with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Like Jason Statham, you
They're
can put him
legit.
in crap and he still seems to shine.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, Liam, I liked his sniping stuff in the beginning. I thought he would have made if you took Liam Hemsworth today and put him in Rambo 4, I think he would have been better than that sniper guy in Rambo 4.
Yeah,
Really?
For sure.
I'm not big on that sniper guy in
Yeah.
Rambo 4.
For those who play Uncharted, the video games, Liam Hemsworth for Nathan Drake.
You think so?
I think so.
He would have to gain some muscle.
He would
for
have
sure.
to gain some, but when I saw him, he's wearing like the scarf in the movie, and he has the
Right.
young look in his hair, and I'm just like, dye his hair black. He could probably play a good Nathan
I can
Drake.
see that.
I can see him playing Nathan Drake in like, how old's he now? He's probably like 20, right?
He's in his 20s, yeah.
If they were to, for some stupid reason, hold off that movie for 10 years, I think he could pull it off in 10 years.
Really?
Just right now, he looks, I think, too young to play
Maybe.
Nathan Drake.
Well, yeah, but it's hard because we're getting way off. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's hard because there's not a lot of actors out there.
Well,
so.
you know the only reason he was in the Expendables is because Charlie Sheen couldn't play that role.
What?
He was going to be the sniper.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So
Charlie Sheen.
they swapped Charlie Sheen for Liam Hemsworth.
I feel like Randy Couture and Terry Cruz's roles were the same for the
Okay.
first one.
Yeah.
If we could just talk about those two for a second. I am not a fan of Terry Crews.
Really?
He was the
I-
best part of the first one.
He was, but it's just like I don't know why he's there. He doesn't do any action movies. He's been
Yeah.
in comedies. I don't think he's ever
Pretty
been
much all comedy.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been a headliner.
No, he's never.
No, so when I saw him, I was like, why is he here? And someone like, do you guys know who Michael Jai White is?
oh
Yeah, I like Michael.
Why the
Jai
heck
White.
isn't Michael Jai
Yeah, he
White
should
in this?
definitely be.
Yeah, true. I didn't
Get
even
him
think
in
of
the third movie or something.
Oh, yeah.
he should
Get him
definitely
and Wesley Snipes as the bad guys.
That'd be good.
Do that. There you go. There's your third movie. Yeah.
You're welcome, Stallone.
Yeah,
We-
we
we've
just
been
did your
going
job
over-
for you.
We've been going over a list of names who should be in the third
Really?
one. Like, just a huge list.
Oh
of
yeah, there's an
Harrison
amazing.
Ford.
Well, they're trying to get Harrison Ford.
I don't know.
They're trying to get Harrison Ford. I can't remember the other.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
Clint
Nick-
Eastwood, yes.
Yeah, but do you actually see Clint
He could be a
Eastwood
good
doing that
bad guy.
movie?
You know what? Yeah, I could because there's the scene where what was it? Stallone asked Bruce Willis, he's like, "Who do you work for?" And was just like, "Oh, I can't say right now."
Ooh,
Why
that
not?
would be a good
Ooh,
role.
There you go. Have Clint Eastwood be the head of the CIA or whatever.
That'd be good.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like I don't know. I
just
feel
have him
like Clint
barking
hasn't
at
done
I
too
can
many
see
of those movies in his career though. Like maybe I don't know. I
don't think he's doing much
As
now.
much as I would love to see Clint do that movie, be in
Yeah.
Expendables 3.
He's picking
I
and
just,
choosing his movies right now. so.
Yeah, he's pretty up there, but like I feel like he wouldn't be in it. As much as I would love him and want him to be in it,
Yeah.
I don't know if he would actually take the job.
Yeah,
Carl
he does.
Weathers in
He
there.
does seem like a guy who's like he knows what he's doing, kind of thing.
Get Carl
Yeah,
Weathers. in
Carl
there.
Weathers.
Carl Weathers, holy.
Where's he?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You know why?
He's teaching acting lessons to Tobias. That's the last thing I saw.
No,
Arrested Development reference.
the
people.
reason why he's not in it is because him and Stallone, they had like a fallout with each other.
Oh, really?
So that's why. But it's like, come on, grow up, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Get over it. Let's
Yeah.
get Carl Weathers in here. Come on.
Yeah, like
Predators. Predator and obviously Rocky.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed. There you
Apollo
go.
Creed. Like, come on, man.
Another guy, Mel Gibson.
I wouldn't even be surprised
Danny
if Mel
Glover.
Gibson was even in the third one. And
Danny
same with
Glover.
Danny Glover. Because where's he been? The last thing I saw Danny Glover do was a movie called Blindness that came out like 3 years ago.
I was gonna say I thought it was that comedy with all the black people.
Oh, true. That would have been the last one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
death,
Tyler
Death
Perry or
something.
Death at a Funeral.
Yeah.
Watch the British version because the black version is literally the exact same script. With
Except
just
we're black.
Yeah, exactly.
No offense to all our African viewers. Just saying. Okay. But anyway, yeah. Going back to Randy Couture for a minute. Are you
Yeah,
guys? Are
where
you
did
guys?
he come from?
Are you guys fans of Randy Couture?
Well,
I don't even
okay.
know if I'm saying his name right.
Let me say, I'm a fan of him as a fighter.
Yeah.
Like a UFC fighter or whatever. I'm glad that they took out his lines in this one, though, because in the first one, he has the most cheesy line. That's the when he's like, "It ain't easy being green."
Oh my
Like,
God.
honestly, I think after that, they just decided not to give him a line. They showed him, like, throwing a grenade once. That was
Yeah.
his only shot.
See, like it was like I wanted either Liam Hemsworth, Terry Crews, or Randy Couture to die in this movie. It was one of those. Luckily, one of them was. So I think, yeah, I don't know why Randy Couture's there. I don't have anything against the guy. He seems like a really cool guy. Like I've
Yeah.
seen him in some interviews. He seems pretty cool. But like, I just don't know why he's there. He doesn't. If you got rid
Yeah.
of Terry Crews and Randy Couture's characters, we wouldn't even tell. It
Yeah.
would have been like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
More time to
They
everybody else.
really don't do anything. Like,
No,
the
they don't.
coolest stuff Terry Crews does is blow people away with his shotgun.
Yeah, for a bunch of
That's
guys who
it.
were supposed to be
Oh shit! That's not a shotgun.
That's a shotgun.
Terry Crews's?
Yeah,
That's like a big ass
That's,
that's a shotgun.
turret.
It's
That's
called
a-
a SAS, I think it's called.
SAS. I know
Really?
the one in Call of Duty is called an AA shotgun.
Oh, okay.
It looks
I don't-
exactly like
I
that.
don't play Call of Duty, so.
Oh yeah, it looks exactly like that shotgun. That's my favorite stuff. But like, I feel like they probably went to go for other actors,
Yeah.
and then they were just like, "Fuck, those guys
Yeah, these guys are cheaper.
didn't
yeah.
sign on." So it's
I
like,
think-
let's get Terry Crews and Randy
Yeah.
Couture up in here.
I
'Cause
think
what-
for
yeah.
for a movie that's supposed to be called The Expendables, they don't really die that much. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
they don't
should-
get hurt that much.
There should be like a couple guys in each movie who die and then they get replaced, and then they like more guys die and
See,
they replace.
that's what I would have liked is if the beginning of the movie, why not kill off Randy Couture, Terry Crews, and then have Liam Hemsworth die? Boom! There you go.
And know what was one thing? Now, it doesn't hurt the movie in any way for Expendables 2, but when it ended, I was like, oh yeah, where is he? Mickey Rourke.
yeah.
Well, I don't care.
You don't care?
I like Mickey Rourke, but I just didn't care for his character in the first movie.
To be honest, I can rarely remember the first movie. I saw it back to back.
That's how important it was.
Like, I saw it back to back the same night in the theater as
Oh,
Scott
okay.
Pilgrim.
Oh, okay.
So I saw Expendables first and Scott Pilgrim. I walked away so happy that night because of Scott Pilgrim. But when I walked out of Expendables first, I was just like, wow, what a piece of shit. I hope
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim's not like
Because
this.
I remember you raged. I remember you didn't like Expendables at all. Like me, I walked out and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go do something else.
Yeah.
Then I saw Expendables 2 and I was like, okay, this movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, oh man, the first one, I literally only seen it that one time, and I was so disappointed with it. I was like, come on. I was
Yeah.
like you. I was just like, yeah, Rambo 4 was wicked.
Yeah, exactly.
So how can Expendables not be wicked? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Again, I think it had to do with just the villains and the overall, just the plot, a lot of talking, and it just this movie really gets to the point. Yeah, there are parts in the movie where they're going to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
But those scenes are interesting in my opinion,
Yeah.
and at least it feels like the movie's going someplace.
Yeah.
Because right
That's
after,
what- yeah.
yeah, right after that, there's going to be a big shootout.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much everyone's just waiting for the next shootout
Yeah,
to start as soon as they start.
that's all we want to see. We don't go to this movie sitting down going, man, I hope the story's great.
Yeah, I hope the dialogue
Yeah,
is just brilliant.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like the first one does have more dialogue, but this one seemed to have a way better direction. Like
Yeah.
it just knows what it's doing more. It knows
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. You know that like in the first one you can kind of get lost. Like all right, what's going on now? Like
Yeah.
where are they flying now? Like,
Yeah,
what's
And you're
happening?
kind of getting lost, just like, where are the
Yeah,
other
like,
characters?
Who's really
Yeah.
the bad guy here? Like who's this girl?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, who is this supposed to have Schwarzenegger and Willis in it?
Yeah,
Why
like,
did they advertise
are they
them and then
coming back?
they're in the
Yeah.
movie for like 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Like
And
I feel like I got ripped off.
at the end, it's like, oh, Steve, like, okay, there's a cool fight scene with Stone Cold Austin or whatever, but after that, there's nothing.
Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve.
Stone Cold. I don't even know who he is. He did one movie that I liked, Condemned.
I haven't seen the Condemned yet. I hear good things.
It's like Hunger Games.
So yeah, the
okay.
second one was just way better directed for sure. More,
Exactly.
like,
But that's probably because
Simon.
Yeah.
Stallone didn't have to take over that duty as well.
Yeah, because he could actually just do his acting quote thing. You know.
Yeah.
What are these called again? I don't even know what they're.
Air quotations.
People who don't know what I'm doing, air quotations. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I will say one thing. This is going again. I'm a big fan of Scott Adkins. Sorry, people, but the fight between him and Jason Statham. I love that there was a build up to that fight.
Yeah.
I love that there was the scene where he's like, pick up the knife. And Jason Statham's like, you know, they're. I love that. Mm-hmm. I thought that was great because I love those two guys.
Yeah.
So when that fight happened, I think I was probably me and my friend, because my friend's a big Scott Adkins fan too, and Jason Statham fan. We just loved the fight. We couldn't really root for anyone.
Yeah.
Because we were like, I love this. I love both these guys. And I did notice one thing, as a Scott Adkins fan, Scott was kind of milking it.
You think so?
For Statham, because one of Scott's best movies ever is Undisputed 3. We're going to get to The Raid in a minute, but, well, not in a minute, but it's almost as good as The Raid.
Yeah.
And Scott can move super fast. This guy can go really fast. So when I saw him fighting Statham, I was like, ooh, he's kind of milking it so Statham can keep up, because Statham's the good guy.
100%, yeah.
So I was a little disappointed in that, but, you know, I was happy with this movie regardless. I'm glad that Stallone is actually a huge fan of Scott, and hopefully Scott gets more things, and hopefully Statham can fight Scott again in the future. But
he got his head violently chopped off.
I don't care. We put that shit back on.
That was also one of my favorite kills.
Maybe like
too.
Expendables 7 or something. It'll be like his evil twin.
His evil twin. Yeah, shoot. Actually, it's kind of funny because actually, never mind.
His good twin.
Yeah, exactly.
His good twin.
Well, did you hear what
Expendables.
Van Damme said about Expendables 3? He said that he would love to be in Expendables 3 as like the twin brother of his character in Expendables 2.
Wow, that's
I
hilarious.
can see them doing
like,
that though for sure.
What?
That is hilarious.
They gotta pull off every cheesy movie cliche.
Yeah, because what's his name? What's his character's name in the Expendables 2? I know it's Villain.
I have no idea.
Is it just Villain?
Hector.
No,
you mean, sorry.
Jean-Claude, not Scott.
Yeah, it's just villain.
Oh, okay. Villain.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he said something about, my name will be Claude Villain. And I was like, Claude
Unless the
Villain.
name is said like a bajillion times, I just referred to everyone as their name.
As their actual name. Yeah, like, I don't care who you are, Mr. Church, you're Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there was Church. I can't even remember.
Trench was
Schwarzenegger's, right? I remember hearing that and going, that was stupid.
Dolph Lundgren's Gunner.
They say his name a couple times. The only ones I can remember though, really off the top of my head, are Barney Ross, because that's kind of a badass name. That's Stallone's name. And then Lee Christmas, I find that's a kind of cheesy name.
I know, he doesn't seem like a Lee. That seems like that should be given to Jet Li, no offense, but like, the two are Asian dudes.
I can see Lee Christmas doesn't fit his character.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something.
I was going to say something about Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, go ahead,
for a second. Yeah. So I think Dolph Lundgren, for me, like, I couldn't even remember what happened to him in the first one. Like, he came into the second one, and I was like, "Wow, what the heck? Like, isn't this guy supposed to be a bad guy?"
Yeah,
or
me too.
Like,
oh yeah.
You kind of don't remember like what happened with Dolph Lundgren, and I don't think he had.
Well,
like,
in the
a big part
first
in this
one,
movie either.
he's with them in the beginning. I remember. Mm-hmm. And then I think he betrays them halfway through, because I remember one of the best parts of Expendables 1 is when he fights Jet Li.
Yeah, he defects, right?
Yeah, and then, but I can't remember what happens from there. I guess obviously he comes back to the good side and starts working.
Yeah, Stallone says, like, because he's hurt or something, Stallone, like, oh, give me information and I'll help you or something like that.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
What were you going to say, though?
I was going to say that a buddy of mine brought up the idea that the next Expendables movie, like, we should go into a little bit more of Stallone's character's backstory.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's something there in his background. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see maybe like a bad guy from his past show up.
Ooh, that'd be good. If it was something short.
Yeah.
Nothing like Expendables 1 where there's so much explanation.
No.
Give us a 10-minute at most flashback.
Yeah.
Showing some guy bully Stallone or something.
Yes,
do something to Stallone back in the day.
Yeah.
And then that way it just sets it up for a perfect bad guy.
Exactly.
I have a good plot point. So the whole start of the Expendables 2, they're talking about Jason Statham's girlfriend. And they like just cut it off halfway through. They're like, they never mention her again. So what if the third one, a guy who Stallone had been fighting for a while, like maybe he just disappeared somewhere, comes back, takes hostage Jason Statham's girlfriend, and boom, we got Expendables 3. Started off, it's
Oh,
Wesley
shit.
Snipes.
But wouldn't that be more of a personal thing against Jason Statham?
But maybe because she's connected with the Expendables. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Oh, kind of like maybe there'd be like a Stallone and Jason Statham connection where it's like, oh, this happened to you, and now
Yeah.
because of me not perhaps
Yeah.
killing
Oh,
that guy
true.
in the past, now it's
Yeah, it's
coming
like,
back on you.
I'm sorry this had to affect your family.
Yeah, like that.
I'll do
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
You literally just have to have Stallone say the one line. The one line in the trailer for Expendables 2 I thought was so funny because it's like, wasn't that the plot to almost every movie you've made?
track them, find them, kill them.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to say.
I'll see this movie.
As soon as the story starts, set up your character, set up your story. As soon as the story actually goes into it, just have Stallone say those lines.
Yeah.
You're good
Yeah.
to go.
That's all you
Good.
need.
No more explanation. Just have
We
Stallone
don't
say
need-
those
yeah.
lines and then cut to action.
No more exposition. Just get onto it.
Exactly. One thing that I had a problem with Expendables 2, and it's really bad with Expendables 1, and it's also affects Rambo 4, is Stallone's choice to use digital blood.
Yeah.
What's with
Oh.
that? Expendables
Yeah.
2, I thought digital blood was handled way better than Expendables 1 and Rambo.
But that's because you don't really see it as much.
That's what I thought. Like,
In
they
Rambo,
hit it
it's
well
all
more.
whole-
Yeah.
They hit it well more, whereas in Rambo and Expendables 1, it's like almost like bright red,
It's-
like it
you
sticks
can-
out
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, it's so odd. Like he slices off the guy's arm in the first movie, and it's just like it looks like we just cut to a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like
But I don't get why he does that when he comes from the era of old school where they don't
see,
do that.
I miss the old days when you could cut off somebody's arm and it looked real practical effects.
Yeah.
and it just looked so gross and real. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like practical effects is like one of my favorite things about movies.
Oh, yes,
And-
yes.
Like Reservoir Dogs, the ear cut.
Yeah,
Yes,
like,
yes.
any practical effect done well, even the cheesy ones like when we're bring up Hobo again, but there's a couple in Hobo that look cheesy as hell and could nowhere near ever happen. Like the one guy gets his foot smashed with a bowling ball or something like that, it just explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very gory. But you know what? I think that looks 100 times better than a digital foot exploding.
Yeah.
100%.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie, so yeah, it's as far as I can remember, yeah, it was a lot better. Yeah,
Like it looks incredibly cheesy, but give me that over a digital effect any day.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think it's just because it's like okay, we gotta save time, and probably they're saving money or something.
Well, that's what I'm assuming what it
Yeah.
is saving money and a bit of because like you got the squibs, right? So sometimes they'll screw up and stuff like that. Who knows
way you don't have to
exactly
retake the
why
scene. Yeah.
they didn't use squibs? But I was just surprised that they didn't, considering all those guys come from a background of old school action where that's what they did.
Well, not all the guys, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not all the guys, but the main group.
Yeah, the important ones we came to see the movie for.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
used to actually do that back in the day. Like some of my favorite effects, Terminator 1. It could work. It could look shitty as hell, but I love it.
You mean the what's that called? Is
When
it
he-
stop motion
Yeah,
animation?
stop motion.
Yeah,
No,
that-
not the stop motion. Okay, I'll give you the stop motion. Looks a bit dated, but the
So
part,
funny.
but the part where he is like fixing himself in the room, and it cuts to the mask of his face.
that's right. That was really cool.
yeah, I like that
and
stuff.
he was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, was he cutting out his eye or something like
he's
that?
doing,
Yeah.
he's doing something with his eye. He has a big gash in his face or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. Yeah, even like Terminator 2 did stuff like that.
Yeah, and like you don't really see that too often in movies anymore.
No,
but I,
I think
love prosthetic
That's something
effects.
I miss.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
probably like seeing that they had so many big actors in it and stuff, they probably had a real time constraint. So they were probably like, all right.
Oh,
let's just do this
100%. Like
digitally
your
afterwards.
budget, you're at
Oh,
your
yeah.
budget's peak when you got all the hot stars on set. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
airport stuff,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
must have
man.
had to move because, like, yeah, you're having fun shooting all day, but when you're on a budget and you got all those guys that have huge paychecks, you're just
Yeah,
like, we
yeah.
need to get them
Doing,
out
like,
of here because we can't afford them for.
Oh
another
yeah,
day.
yeah,
How could they afford Bruce Willis? He's doing like 60 movies right now. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they must
ridiculous.
have.
He's in so many movies. He just takes them.
Yeah.
I feel like those guys took a pay cut though for Expendables.
They might have, yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
budget for Expendables was only 80 million.
Okay.
And the action and places they go and stuff like that in this movie looks like it costs a
It
bit
looks
of
like a
money.
lot more, obviously,
Yeah.
because the production on the whole beginning of the movie. The whole beginning of the movie is just boom, 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 boom. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
explosions
It's like
everywhere.
a 15-minute action scene.
Yeah, and
It's a way better intro
yeah.
for that one.
Well, it reminds me of like James Bond movies too, because like
Oh,
the beginning of a James Bond movie, there's always like some kind of action,
I always love that.
and then it's just like after that action piece, then we cut to the main story,
Yeah.
and that's what I loved about Expendables 2. It just there you go, here's your action. Now let's get going here.
It's almost
Yeah.
like horror movies, how they always have that one scene at the very start.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
just
there's
like
always
the
a start kill. There's always that first kill right
Like
in the
Jaws.
beginning.
Jaws is one that started that really.
yeah,
Yeah, Jaws.
Yeah.
yeah.
And another one, know what's crazy? We watched Jaws the other day on Blu-ray, and that movie's rated PG, and it has like lots of blood and
Has severed arms. on
and
the
severed
beach.
arms and
Yeah.
and legs. Now it's because PG-13 didn't exist at the time that it came out.
Oh,
But the fact that it's still rated PG,
It's
like
the-
I'm surprised it hasn't gone through the ratings.
yeah, the
again.
rating
Yeah.
system has it. Yeah, they did that with video games too back in the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they had to put them through that thing again. Like I'm surprised Jaws hasn't, but Jaws has been around for so long. But
Yeah.
but yeah, go back to prosthetics because digital looks shit. Unless it's for the only thing
Chris Montero says that.
Yeah. But the only thing I like for digital effects is like matte paintings and stuff. Like if you're on a chunk of the set and then the rest of the set is painted in, obviously if it's a good job. Like another thing that does this well is Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, they have
Haven't
like
seen it.
a small section of the room that the actors are supposed to be in, and then the rest of it's made out of the computer. You couldn't even tell just because that real part is what helps sell it.
See, I like matte paintings though. I think they can be effective. in the
Me
right-
too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love matte paint. Even old school matte paintings, like old school Ghostbusters. The building, and right at the very end, you have like the big purple thing at the top of the tower on Ghostbusters.
Oh, you mean Ghostbusters 2?
No,
No,
Ghostbusters
that
1.
is Ghostbusters. Because remember the what's his name? Stay Puft Mark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember
Yeah.
when they're on top of the building?
I'm
There's
thinking of the bad guy from the number 2,
No,
the
yeah,
big
the
purple
painting
thing.
guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, that guy's terrible. Like they're right before the
Big-a!
right before the building scene in Ghostbusters, you see an exterior shot of that building, and that's 100% a matte painting of it's the building, and then it's got like a bunch of purple stuff on the top to look
Yeah.
like a ghost thing.
Yeah.
And like even that on Blu-ray looks nice. Like it doesn't look as nice as maybe a digital matte would, because you can kind of I think it would be easier to match a digital matte compared to a regular matte. Like back in the day when they used to do matte paintings, they would literally put a glass in front of the camera and paint in where the matte was going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so then that way they'd be like, all right, so so they would frame up the shot of the building, and then they would put a piece of glass, and they would obviously go with the artists and stuff like that, and they would paint on top of the building on this piece of glass where the thing would be, and then they shoot through that glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and nowadays it's just green screen.
Right.
Oh.
That's what they did for the raid, right?
Yeah, the
Green
Raid
screen.
has a nice matte
Yeah,
painting in it
that's
as well.
right.
Like it's really
yeah.
only one floor that they're shooting on, but they
Yeah.
like make it look like it's a whole bunch of floors by like.
Yeah,
green
like
screen.
digital matte paintings, like as far as digital effects, matte paintings are the best by far.
Yeah.
Just old school filmmaking in general can top some of the filmmaking of
Oh, yeah.
nowadays. I'm
Oh.
sorry, James Cameron. I know you're trying to improve it, but
Man, I
don't
feel
know.
like
Yeah.
he's got so much of an ego, and no one can really say anything because he's got the bank account
No.
behind him. But it's like
I'll go see a Quentin Tarantino movie any day of the week
Oh.
instead of a James Cameron film.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Like, I didn't even
love
like Avatar
I-
that much. I
like,
gotta say.
I love Terminator 2. I love Aliens.
Yep, me too.
I love True Lies. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I
love
know-
T1 as well.
Yeah.
T1. He did T1.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he did.
I thought he was just like producer or something.
No, that was like his first directing.
Oh
type
shoot!
thing.
The Abyss.
The Abyss, I'm not the biggest fan of The
It's-
Abyss,
it's
but
okay.
I do like its moments
Yeah.
in it.
And yeah, okay, I'll say this: there are a few moments in Titanic I enjoyed.
I gotta rewatch
Yeah, same
Titanic.
here.
I haven't
Whatever.
seen it in years,
Same
but it's
here.
coming out on Blu-ray soon.
Oh,
I just think like they need for the technology to be better before they start using it as the whole movie, because then you get a piece of junk like that movie 2012.
Oh
where,
man,
like,
I watched
Didn't see
bits
it.
and pieces
Didn't
of
wanna
it.
see
It's like just it might as well have been. You might as well have animated the whole movie.
Yeah, it
Like,
might as well
why
be-
hire
it
actors?
Disney cartoon.
might as well be
Pixar.
a
Yeah.
video game for sure.
Like
Yeah.
it's so bad. But back to Expendables.
Yeah. Anyway. So what were we doing again?
We were talking about the digital blood, and that's how we got.
Okay, it's kind of a tangent. Sorry, folks.
But we're already hitting almost 40. Do you guys have anything else you really want to talk about for Expendables?
In closing, great movie, great villain, great story.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
not a great story.
Story, just
Great
just-
direction.
Better
Yeah.
story than the first one.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie. If you like seeing shit blow up, then and you know you do, go see this. You're gonna love it. It's really good. And if you're a Scott Adkins fan, please watch Undisputed 3.
Yeah, I got really nothing much else to add other than it was
one more-
awesome.
one more thing.
Yep, go for it.
Sorry, what was up with that the Asian actress in the movie?
Yeah, she kind of came out. Know why? I read about it actually. It's because China only allows 10 films or something like that a year to be released in China, like American films. The rest
Okay.
of it's all Chinese films, right?
Yeah.
And so, in order to get that movie into China, because a lot of movies are doing this now. Iron Man 3 is doing this right now, where they got financing from China So now Iron Man 3 is automatically going to be released in China, and it doesn't count as one of the 10.
They didn't even got an Asian guy in that film. They have like a freaking Arabic playing the Mandarin.
No, but it was co-financed by a Chinese company, and I think they're filming some scenes in China or somewhere around there as well.
Okay.
So just by being a full co-financed Chinese production, it automatically gets it into Chinese theaters without counting as one of the 10 movies.
Oh, okay.
So that, and I heard
The more you know.
And I heard the Expendables did the same thing with her. I guess they got some money from I don't know if it was the Chinese or someone else, but and they also got, and Looper that's coming out next month did the same thing as well.
Okay.
Apparently there's a different cut of Looper that involves like another 20 or 30 minutes of movie that we won't get to see. That
only in
involves
China?
Chinese stuff.
Really?
Apparently it
They
doesn't
go to
make
China for like 10
apparently
minutes.
it doesn't make the movie better, but they mandatory had to put it in the movie for the Chinese release.
So that's why they did that character in The Dark Knight then, probably, yeah? That
Which one?
Chinese guy, when Batman goes to...
True, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that could be another
probably
thing.
another
If
thing.
I was a Chinese filmmaker, I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, the Expendables took one of our 10 spots.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
you go away now.
Come back later. But yeah, also, why did they specifically choose her? She must have been really cheap, because they couldn't get like Lucy Liu
Well, I think she
or
might.
Maggie Q.
I think she's like an official like Chinese, like she acts in China
okay,
like
okay.
right now type of thing.
They're
Okay.
probably just trying to move her to the big screen, like the silver screen. Or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she was...
get her over here.
She
type of
wasn't
thing.
really doing anything for me, but...
No, she was okay. She was half a love interest. Like she was
Yeah.
kind of a love interest, but it was just like, is anything going to develop here?
Yeah,
No.
she was just there to give Stallone some kind of emotional, like some heart to his character.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty much it. Because you thought at one point that they were actually going to get together or something,
Yeah.
but they don't.
I thought they were going to kiss at the end, but no. they
Yeah.
didn't, yeah.
No.
I wonder if they're going to bring her over to the next one. Because I know, didn't at the end of the first one, they had that Spanish girl, and they never did anything with her after
Who
that.
cares? She was a boring character
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
But I will be... What if... have you guys heard the rumors that they may do a female Expendables movie?
That would be
Man,
wicked.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like, and I thought, well, why not use her as a transition? I mean, you think of like the female Expendables. You could have like Sigourney Weaver,
for sure.
Ooh, true.
Linda Carter.
yeah.
Who's the
What's
chick?
her name? Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Oh, Pam Grier.
Pam Grier. Yeah.
I would see
Oh,
Pam Grier. Yeah,
yeah.
she's the queen of exploitation, black exploitation.
Yeah. Like, there's so many. I think I actually even made like a list of like actresses I would want to see in a female Expendables movie.
Yeah, I would watch a female Expendables.
Yeah, I would see it. Like,
You know
I
what that
mean,
kind of
no,
reminds
it's
me
not,
of?
as long as it's
Uma
not
Thurman has to be in it for sure.
Uma
Uma
Thurman.
Thurman. Oh,
Kill
that's the
Bill.
one I missed. Yeah, that's right.
Uma Thurman for sure.
Kill Bill. And know what that reminds
Angelina
me of
Jolie.
too? Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Is Pulp Fiction when Uma makes that joke about Fox Force 5. Even make that a movie.
Ooh,
Fox
they could
Force
make that a
5, the
movie.
five foxes who have
And she has to
all
have that
different
one-
types of power type of thing.
She just have that joke in it.
And she says a joke.
It's just bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they could do like there's a whole bunch of actresses they could get. Who's the? My girlfriend's gonna hate me for forgetting this, but who's the actress who played Xena?
Oh, Lucy Lawless.
Lucy Lawless.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, she should be in it.
Yeah, she's in
Yeah,
that one
she
show,
could totally be in
Spartacus.
it.
She's in Spartacus, right?
Spartacus,
true. She's
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think she's actually kind of attractive too. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the Expendables.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add other than that. If go in knowing what you're going to watch, know that you're going to watch a cheesy, awesome, high octane movie, and you're just gonna have fun for an hour and a half. And I would highly recommend it because it's great fun. I'm definitely gonna buy this one. I didn't even bother look. As soon as I see the first one on the shelf, it's like, all right, next.
I got it for my dad for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
It's like, oh man, I gotta have this in my house.
yeah. But yeah, any more thoughts?
No, just great movie. Go see it. Give some money to these great actors. Great.
Who's already bank
yeah.
account's already huge.
Yeah.
Give them some good bank. Hopefully they make a third one and keep going on for like 10
Until
Like,
they're
it's-
all dead.
I could see Expendables turning into like a James Bond franchise.
You think so?
I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be a. I hope if it did, I hope it didn't be. It won't be cheesy. That's the only thing.
That's
Now
all
I
it's gonna
know.
be is
Now I
cheesy.
know
That's all.
Expendables is cheesy, but like I'm talking about like cheesy and like. Okay, not cheesy. Cheesy is the wrong word. Like overused, overplayed type of way. It was like, all right, I like the first 3 Expendables, or like at least the last 2, and those were fun movies, and you got to play off their personas and stuff like that, this and that. But I don't need any more than that.
Yeah, I don't need
If
any
you
more.
one every 5 years, so there's always new guys to put in it.
Yeah, I guess they could. Yeah,
Yeah, you could pull something off like that.
Definitely.
maybe. Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but it's hopefully the franchise lives on.
But yeah, so that's the end of our episode. So you can check me out on Twitter at DKGChris. That's what my Twitter handle is at the moment. It's going to be changed soon. Eagle?
At the real DJ Eagle. Gonna put up some beats up there soon, and hopefully like our movie review.
Yeah.
And I don't have a Twitter.
And also follow at Posters Daily. That's an account that I post. There's an account out there on Twitter called I Like Girls Daily. It's literally just endless photos a day of just naked women being posted by this one guy. It's like he goes around to different porn websites, finds hot pictures of girls, and posts them. And that's what I'm doing, but with movie posters, behind-the-scenes photos, and just random nice photography I find online. So
To my
Posters
girlfriend
Daily.
who's listening to this, I do not go on to that.
No, I do.
It's amazing. So of course I do.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
We'll be back.